Well, hello all. Lots of weed blowers going, weed whackers, because there was a huge storm for the last week here in California, San Francisco Bay Area, and we had a very big lightning strike right up the hill here. So all the branches of the trees are all down and trees are blown over and quite a mess. So they're all cleaning it up, and lots of snow and hail on the peaks and around the Bay Area. But today we woke up to sunshine. Finally, it's been very, very cold, windy, rainy, and you name it, it's happened. So let's go up here and do a video. Okay, hopefully the droning of the endless weed blowers and weed whackers and leaf blowers and chainsaws won't interfere. I've got the camera turned so that the mic doesn't pick up all that stuff as much. Every morning you go outside, that's what you hear. The UN Ocean Treaty, this is the fifth and hopefully the final round of the negotiations to save 30% of the world's oceans by 2030. This is the minimum scientists say is necessary to allow the oceans to recover from decades of pollution, overfishing, and other industrial activities like deep sea mining. I didn't know deep sea mining was going on already since they just started that, but apparently it's already destroying the deep sea ocean. The ocean covers 70% of the planet and are the Earth's largest ecosystems. Currently, less than 5% of the oceans are protected. So this is the fifth time they've tried to negotiate, and the Northern Hemisphere countries don't want to do it. They don't want to save the oceans. They actually want to cut the protected areas down to 3% of the oceans. That's ridiculous. All they're asking for is 30%, and they can't even get that. The US, Canada, Russia, the EU does not want to protect the oceans because there's too much money involved, too much money in harvesting everything that the ocean has, overfishing, starting deep sea mining, anything you can get out of the ocean they're trying for now in desperation. Because all the mining and the harvesting of everything on top of the land is about done. We're finishing up with it all, running out of all those supplies. So they have no other choice but to go to the oceans. So that's what's happening with that. So environmental news is pretty rare these days. It's hard to find any news that's worth talking about because of the endless paywalls they put up. The news agencies put up paywalls so you can't get the news that you want to get. It's hard to find it. I don't like to rely on Twitter and those kind of platforms for good quality news on the environment. You end up getting kind of strange news that way. So on another subject, I wanted to ask people about the situation with Ukraine and Russia. What is your thoughts on that? I mean, you've got Russia, which is the aggressor, who is aggressively trying to take over a lot of the EU countries. They want to move over and take over all that and call it the Soviet Union again. But you can't erase what's already been done. You can't take back the countries you lost. And you never had them in the first place. You stole them during World War II in the first place. So why do you think you can go back and steal them again? So what is your thoughts? Are you for the war? Are you against the war? You know, this is really hard for people that are on the side of peace and want to see peace around the planet. Having an aggressor pushing so hard to take another country that isn't theirs. And what are we supposed to do? Ignore it? Let it happen so that then once he gets that one, he goes for another one and another one? Putin is as nutty as Trump is. They're both nutballs. They both want to use nuclear weapons so bad they can taste it. Now China wants to get involved. This is not looking good. What is your thoughts on this? Are you for the war, against the war, for peace at any cost, no matter how many countries Russia gets to keep? I mean, what do we do in a situation like that? I don't have any answers. I'm not for giving all these weapons, but then I'm not for giving up the countries that had freedom. Now, I admit that Ukraine before the war was a pretty questionable country to begin with. They were kind of on the fringe of being on the corrupt side, and but they weren't attacking Russia. Russia attacked them. So where do you go from here? Your thoughts on this would be greatly appreciated. And here on a beautiful sunny day after all that bad weather we had. And I'm right at where that big lightning strike happened, one of the biggest lightning strikes I've ever heard, and they're still cleaning up after the mess. So as a lot of people that have lived in the Bay Area know, lightning is pretty rare around here, especially big thunderstorms. But I guess every once in a while, because El Nino is coming back with a vengeance, I guess thunder and lightning storms will become part of the norm. I looked up the latest on El Nino, and it is coming back. It's coming back very quickly. I thought it would take a little bit longer, but it looks like we're going to be in El Nino during the summer, and that's not going to be fun for a lot of people around the world that don't like excessive heat. So with that, what's your thoughts? I appreciate all the ups, the new subscribers, and your comments especially. And until next time.